So, ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves an interesting game for Dallas upcoming against the Jacksonville team that, while record-wise, you might think to yourself, they're not really a good team. They're actually putting together some solid performances to keep them competitive in games. With all that being said, let's go ahead and dive in to the Jacksonville Jaguars versus Dallas Cowboys preview. Before we get started with today's video, if you could do me a favor and like the video, that'd be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell, and if you want to continue to support the channel, share it and all the other good stuff. Listen, not going to be a whole lot of editing in this video like I have been for the past couple because it's a preview, right? So we want to kind of do this off the top and all that other stuff. So look, Jacksonville's coming into this game and they have a chance to win the AFC South, right? And Tennessee is kind of slumping at the moment. If they beat the Cowboys, things get a hell of a lot more interesting in that division. Now, do I think that they're going to win that game? The Titans, I don't remember who they play. I think the Titans should be fine, but look. I think that this is a huge game for the Cowboys because of the fact that there is that trap game ability. I understand that I've been saying that a lot, but I remember, I think, before the season began, I said, you're going to have that what the hell loss. Now, maybe Green Bay was that. Maybe Dallas is clean throughout the rest of the games, right? But at the end of the day, right, like, this Jacksonville team is going to play it tough. And so let's go ahead and start with the offensive side of the ball for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, Trevor Lawrence, 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the last couple games. And, he's been playing very damn well. I think Doug Peterson has done a fantastic job of developing something in Jacksonville. And we'll see how things transpire as we move forward through the season. And actually, long term, I think Jacksonville might be a problem. But this year, I would say they're in similar conversation with the Texans and Colts. Like, these are teams that play other teams tough, but they just haven't put together wins. Now, Jacksonville, in the last couple of weeks against the Ravens and the Titans, have managed to gather victories out of the jaws of defeat. Now, does this mean that this is going to be trouble for Dallas? Not necessarily. But I think the biggest point is do not let them hang around or they will come back and beat you. I think that's pretty self-explanatory there. So my other thing with Trevor Lawrence is he has a toe injury. Now, in terms of how much this is going to limit him, we don't know. They said he was questionable for the game. I think he's still going to play, and I believe all indications show he's going to play. So offensively, they've done a really good job schematically of getting guys open. I think that while their offensive line is not the greatest offensive line, and you could take advantage of that defensively, I think what does Jacksonville favors is that they have that big playability, which they've been able to take advantage of. Right? And so I would say if you're Dallas, one thing you're looking for is the run. Does Doug Peterson go to the run? Listen, he's played the Cowboys a bunch of times, so he's very familiar with them. And I think that for him to win this game for his team, he's going to need to run the ball a little bit more. But if he starts to go pass heavy, I think that's where Dallas, it plays into their defense's hand. I think that you might see some guys get a sack or two, and maybe you might get 2 or 3 sacks out of this game. Who knows? I don't know. But I think the biggest thing for Dallas is you have to give pressure to Trevor Lawrence and force him to make mistakes. And that's something that the Jaguars have not luckily been in the situation where he's giving away the ball. Now, they've been good at keeping the ball on their side of, keeping their defense out on the bench. But look, I understand that a lot of people will look at this game and they'll say, what if Dallas overlooks it and goes into? I really don't care. You win this game, you're in the postseason. Point blank period. Like this, there is implications for this game. The Cowboys win this game, they're locked into the postseason, back-to-back postseason appearances, 11-3. But if they lose this game, you might still get in off virtue of tie. I don't want to do that. Just go out and win this game. Now, for the Cowboys on the offense and what they got to do. Now, Trevor Walker, the number 1 overall pick, he has a high ankle sprain, so if there's 2 guys that are, in terms of the 2 who are more likely to miss the game, Walker is primarily because of that injury. And that'd be huge for the Cowboys because Walker's been one of their better players defensively, and I think that that's something that they're going to need if they want to give the Cowboys some fits. I think that Jacksonville's front 7 has been pretty good, all things considered, with that team. And I think if they want to continue to build upon that, they're going to need to have Walker in that lineup. So I think for the Cowboys, what they want to do is you want to try to do things to limit that front seven. So I would say, listen, if you want, just try to run the ball, but at the end of the day, do what you got to do that makes it work. I know that sounds super cliche, but I think quick passing is going to help them here, but I don't think if Kellen Moore's going to he's going to dial that up. We'll see. But look, all Dallas has to do is just show up and not shoot themselves in the foot 5 times, and they'll win the game. I think that that's kind of where Dallas is at this point. As for their previous game versus the Texans, I think one thing that you can note is that the Texans did give them a run for their money, and the Cowboys pulled out that win. Now, do they pull out another win if the situation? We'll see, but so far Dallas has responded, right? And so I think that's something we can appreciate. Now, the other thing is special teams. One thing that's kind of been bugging me, and I haven't really talked about it, and I might make a video on this, is that special teams-wise, Brian Anger has not been an all-pro punter, which hasn't cost the Cowboys, but definitely it's not helped the Cowboys in a sense. I understand that it might not make any sense there too. But listen, he's been a solid punter for you, but he hasn't been worth the contract that you gave him / all-pro status, right? Now, as for Brett Maher, he's doing his thing, and I would say to the masses that are going to tune into this game, I don't know if it's going to be region locked. Odds are it might. But I really think that for the Cowboys, this offensive line is going to be the biggest question mark of the entire season and the postseason. Tyron Smith's coming back. There are indications he's going to play right tackle. They're still going to do listen, get this thing out in the regular season. Yes, you can do it versus Philly. I do not want to see it in the postseason. You better pick your guys and you roll with it. That's just point blank period there. And I understand that not everybody is going to agree with that. But look, the fact is that you have to make a combination and you have to select it and move forward. You can't afford to be doing this mishmatching, all this other stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe it works. And it's keeping your guys fresh. So I would expect to see Josh Ball in this game a lot. And I know a lot of people are not happy about that. But again, we'll see how things transpire. And you might see just, again, movement around the entire offensive line. Now, the good thing for Dallas is they haven't given up too many sacks. Now, granted, I feel like sacks are more on the quarterback, if anything. But even with Cooper Rush, they weren't really getting sacked a whole lot, right? They weren't really doing much there. Even though that statistically, Dallas's offensive line is like among the worst in pass block win rate. So, I mean, that's a testament to that. I think that if what Dallas needs to do is take this game seriously and look, treat it like a win and you get in final game of the season and you move on from there. Listen, you got 4 games left. You got 4 games to figure this thing out, and that's just going to be the end of that. Now, in terms of a score prediction, I'm going to go 26-21 Cowboys. I think that the Cowboys are able to put Jacksonville away, and they try to make it a game towards the end, but Dallas does. I'm going to say it's going to be kind of reminiscent of the Washington game from the towards the end of the last season where we went to Washington. It was kind of, okay, the Cowboys won this game, but then they kind of started coming back. I think it's going to be kind of one of those types of games. As for any bold predictions, it's not going to match my score prediction-wise, but my bold prediction in terms of what could happen in this game, I think let's go with something crazy. Dak throws 4 touchdowns. T.Y. Hilton's going to be making his first appearance as a Dallas Cowboy. There's rumors that Odell Beckham Jr. is going to end up being a Cowboy. I don't know the validity of that. I've heard Jerry Jones say, oh, he's going to be here, this, that, and the third. We'll see. I mean, who knows? He might be a Cowboy next week. Whatever the Cowboys elect to do, I'm okay with it. They just need to take care of business on Sunday. I do not care how you do it. Win the game, get into the postseason, and move on. Doesn't matter how you get there. Just get in there and let's see what happens. Now, I want to also bring this up, and I know some people will be like, oh, Space, why are you talking about them? You kind of have to also start watching some of these other teams. For Dallas, it looks like the 5th seed's a foregone conclusion unless Philly drops games. So in Chicago, they're not. I do think they're going to still win the game, but it is going to be a mucky type of game, right? It's going to be, I heard, rainy, windy, cold. And we'll see how things go, right? Because I would be amazed if both teams came into the next matchup at one at 11-2 or 12-2, and one at 11-3. Like, that'd be crazy. I don't think it's gonna happen, but if that happens, you might see the game of the year. Like, you might see record-breaking numbers record-breaking numbers. Like, Dallas broke it on Thanksgiving. Like, this might go 70, 80 million. So, win this game, and we'll go from there. I understand that, I'm not a fan of watching other teams, but, for fantasy's sake, you want to keep an eye out on Tampa Bay as well. This is the time of year where you start scouting your playoff opponents. Teams to keep an eye out on. Philadelphia. You want to keep an eye out on the Panthers and the Bucks. I've already went over in a video I did previously the scenarios you want to keep an eye out on. So if you missed that, God damn it, go see that video. So look, guys, I really hope that things go well in Jacksonville. Dallas is now 1 in Jacksonville. They're 0-1. The only appearance they've had in one was in 2006. Or, excuse me, the only appearance they've been there, it was a loss against Jacksonville in 2006 with Drew Bledsoe at quarterback. The other time they met up when Jacksonville was the home team was in 2014, where Dallas beat the brakes off of them. But, guys, this is a huge game. This can give you some more momentum. Get it done. I think that's pretty much it. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell. See you guys in the next one.